Hello guys, and I'm back after a bit. And this is not Spyro. This is a game I kind of bought on a whim because it looked really interesting to me. And I also just want to mention this, I'm recording this after the Game Awards, like just a few days after the Game Awards, or like a day after. Actually, a few days after. And didn't they announce a game called The Last Tree? So I find it funny. Um, yes, new game. I also want to mention in the description of this game, it says not a fox simulator. I love that.
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. You should get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know, it seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
Alright.
I don't know how much dialogue is in this game. But I literally was just looking through the Xbox Game Store and I watched the video on this. Oh. What's the Also, I want to say that sprint is toggled, which is like the weirdest thing I've ever dealt with in a game.
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
Oh. And I was actually pretty captivated by the trailer for this game.
She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other two children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
I believe it said the game is only about 2 hours long.
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
So I want to say if the quality of my videos are a bit lower, and by that I mean like the actual picture or video quality, it's because I adjusted my megabytes per second on the video file. Because after Spyro and the issues it had, which granted that only seemed to happen during the loading screens when it went from like the black screen to, you know, loading in. Because I think all the colors popping up seem to maybe have a hard time. Also the the way this game handles is a little weird. Like look at that. Wee. So if the quality's a bit lower, it's just because at least when I'm recording Xbox games, I just want to make sure that there's less issues, you know. So I believe, like, I think I already said, but I believe the game's only around 2 hours. So hopefully I get it done in one session, and then I'll get back to Spyro.
Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
There's something already, like, I'm already pretty captivated by this. For me, it's a very unique style. Like, I haven't really played a game like this before. I believe this game came out December 4th, so I'm a little late. I don't know if anyone else is really playing it, because I don't think I saw any trailers for this game besides the one I saw on the store. So hopefully I can expose this game a little bit for anyone that's looking it up. That was a sudden change. Double jump. Whee!
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble.
Angst.
I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
What about your mom, dude? What about your mom? She's important. Don't forget about the mom. What is this? Oh. I like an ultra jump. The run isn't exactly speedy. No. What's this cop car doing all the way out here? I'm sorry, I'm kind of taking in the music, like, it's pretty nice. If I had to compare, it's not as good as, like, the stuff from the Bungie Halo games or Ori and the Blind Forest.
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
Oh, I missed one. Oh. God damn it. The second jump's so floaty, or you're just floating in general. Like, look how long you take to fall. Jeez. This is Super Fox, man. I'm sorry, that just, it looks so funny. Whee. Oh my god, okay, I'll stop. I'm gonna guess there's no fall damage in this game. Nope. It's like, don't you know, foxes are just amazing. They can't break their legs. With the double jump, you kind of have to jump right at the top of your first jump. If you wait too long, you can't double jump again. Like once you start falling, like you cannot double jump again. Once you start falling, you cannot activate your second jump. I keep feeling like I don't have the run button on, but I do. Oh god, you know what? I didn't turn that off. I meant to. I'm terrible. I'll try to do that before I start recording. Because the thing is, I have a lot of people on my friends list, so that sometimes I'm getting those notifications all the damn time.
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I had proved the ultimate point, but my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but...
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to me.
I really like that you can find these like clues. Like we saw the cop car, there was the truck, there was the sign, which he probably was throwing the beer bottles at, right? So, and we're seeing like it's really cool how the story's laid out. You can definitely see some popping. This is a really gorgeous soundtrack, though, I gotta say. Can you get two of these, I wonder? Because I'm guessing we have to go that way. I'm just trying to make sure I get... I'm also curious why there's one up there. Is there something else up there? Oh, we have two now. Wait, so if we get this one first... Is there any... Okay. There's nothing back here. I want to see... I want to get all three and see if we can... like... We got like a super ultra mega jump. Oh wait, actually no, I don't need to jump on that rock first, because I can go this way. Oh my god. Look at all the butterflies we have.
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was. And I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening beers. I had to climb over. That was my only goal for a long time.
Okay, hopefully... Oh yeah, it's telling me. Oh, that was close. Whee! It looks so silly.
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
Hopefully I'm not missing anything here. Oh. Okay.